Hey, thanks for listening to The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, and I'm so glad you're with me today. Today, we're going to talk about all things customer experience with Angela Black, the customer experience queen. You're going to have a good time because I think it is so important. Sometimes we think we know what it is, but I suspect today Angela's going to unpack some things we didn't know. But thanks for being here on The Rundown with Ramon. As I said, my name is Ramon Ray, a five-time entrepreneur, five-time author. And if you want to be on The Rundown with Ramon, just hit me up, email me, ramon@ramonray.com, here to serve you and help you grow your business. Angela, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here with me today. And feel free to give us your full name of your business, website, how we can reach you right from the top. The mic is yours, Angela.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. So Angela Black is my name. I'm known as the customer experience queen. The name of my business is Client Relations Consultants, and you can reach me at my website, which is AngelaBlackCRC.com. The CRC is the initials of my business, which is Client Relations Consultants. So it's AngelaBlackCRC.com, and my email is info@AngelaBlackCRC.com. What else did you ask me?
That's it. No, you're good. That's it. Just want to make sure. Oh, I was asking, just tell people right at the top, who should get in touch with you? What are the type of people? And again, we're going to understand more what you do in your story. But right at the top, people have short attention spans. I'm like, hey, this is Angela Black. If you're like this, you should see her. Give us a sense of who are some of your clients are and who should reach out to you before we dive into the tips on customer experience.
So if you're a small business owner and your revenue is increasing, you're in the high six figures, you're starting to see some issues with your customers, and you really don't know how to tackle those issues, and you want to scale your business into the seven figures and beyond. I also have seven-figure businesses who want to scale into the eight figures and beyond, and they need some customization of their customer service policies. So I work with all of those businesses to create policies around customer retention, customer loyalty, customer experience, the customer journey, so that we can create more revenue from customers referring their friends and family to you and from getting repeat business from those customers. So that's my specialty, is creating those policies around that and then helping you implement them by training your staff. So I also train on customer service. I speak on customer service topics. I speak to small businesses, corporations, higher education, public service entities. Like I recently spoke for the state of Maryland. So if you need a speaker on customer experience or customer service, then I'm the person that you can reach out to.
I love that, Angela. And let me ask a question.
Yeah.
Is it really necessary to get training on customer experience? Meaning, if I hire somebody with a nice smile, they brush their teeth, and they got peppermint in their mouth, and they know how to say please and thank you, is that not enough?
You know, it's so funny you asked me that, because whenever I do speak, I always ask the audience how many people have customer service experience, and 90% of people raise their hand. They've worked in retail, they worked at the movie theater, or, you know, in a hotel or whatever. And then I tell them, I say, I know you really didn't want to come to this seminar today, did you? Your boss probably made you come, and you feel like you don't need any more information about customer service. You know everything there is to know. But just like every job or every field, I think you can learn more information, or you can hear it a different way that will enhance how you provide that customer service and customer experience. And there are some things that I think a lot of business owners don't really think about when it comes to customer experience, that in training their staff and getting everybody on board so that everybody provides the same consistent service to their clients and their customers. When I do that is when the business owners realize, oh, wow, I didn't think about that. Or I'm so glad that you did train my staff, because yeah, they had some basic knowledge of customer service, but if we want to take it to another level, if we want to do the Ritz-Carlton level, the concierge level of customer service, there's some nuances that you have to do and be consistent with in order to reach that. And not a lot of people have that level of training.
Yeah. And help me understand then, where does the policy and the training fit in? How do they go hand in hand? I'm sure it's a very broad word, but the training, I'm assuming, again, you're the teacher here, but I'm just making some assumptions. Feel free to correct. Is one thing, please, thank you, smile, wash the table right, or always whatever tips and years of experience you have, there's the training, but then the policy. Can you explain how they go hand in hand, how they differ, or are both needed? Help me understand just both of those.
Oh, I think definitely both are needed. So the policy, basically a standard operating procedure or SOP. So there are several SOPs that you can do within the customer service field. And I always suggest that businesses do this when they are writing their business plan to start their business. They should do SOPs around customer service as well as other operational things in their business. But most businesses don't do that. But even if you're an existing business and you've never done SOPs for customer service, it's never too late. So those SOPs can be around customer retention, you have to plan it out. These things don't just happen. You have to plan out, how are you going to create that customer retention? What will you do to entice your customers to keep coming back? And then what will you do to entice them to tell other people about you so that you can turn them into sales reps for your business. And then you don't have to spend as much on ads because you've got folks out there telling everybody how great your business is, right? But you got to plan for that. So I always use like Chick-fil-A as an example. For those of you who live in the South and have been around Chick-fil-A, or let's just say even Disney, most people have had some interaction.
Chick-fil-A in the Northeast now too. I got one right down the block.
Do you go there often?
Of course, I know the owner. He's catered some stuff for an activity my church did. Absolutely.
And what is their phrase? What is the thing that they say when you say thank you? What do they say?
I believe it's my pleasure. I believe.
My pleasure.
Yes.
Every time it's my pleasure. And what I like about that is, number one, it's not by mistake. It's part of their policy. It's something somebody sat down, wrote out, and said, this is what we're going to do. And I have personally, as many times as I've been to Chick-fil-A, I live in Atlanta, so Chick-fil-A has been around a very long time here. I've personally never had a negative customer service experience at Chick-fil-A. And I can't say that for any other fast food place that I've ever visited. Every other fast food place that I've ever visited in my life, I've had some bad experiences with customer service, but not with Chick-fil-A. That's not by mistake. And businesses need to sit down and, just like Chick-fil-A, plan out, what are some touch points? What are the little things that I want to do for my customers from the time they learn about my business? Maybe they see an ad, maybe I'm out and about and I'm talking to people about my business from that moment. And then they start investigating my business to see if they want to interact with me or do business with me. They go on my website. What are some things I can do on the website to make customers want to come back and get that customer retention? And then from the time they contact us, maybe they call us and ask us questions. How should I have my representatives speak to everybody so everybody gets the same consistent treatment? And then once they become customers, if there's an issue, how do I make sure that all of those issues are handled the same way? If you don't plan out your policies, there becomes a problem when something happens with customers and you just handle it. But then if that same problem happens 2 months later, you don't remember what you did 2 months ago to handle it. And you may handle it, but you may handle it differently. And what if those two people know each other? And what if they say, well, you know what? The same thing happened to me and this is what they gave me. Well, they didn't give me that. They gave me this, or they didn't do that for me. So you run the risk of people not having consistent treatment. And you also run the risk of your employees just kind of willy-nilly handling situations the way they think best. But if you have policies in place, everybody knows exactly what to do, what to say it, how to handle these situations, just like at Chick-fil-A. And everybody gets the same consistent treatment. And we know what to expect when we interact with your business. We know exactly the customer service and the customer experience we're going to get. It's almost like the difference between, say, a Ritz-Carlton and a Holiday Inn. They both have beds, they both have TVs, they both have a lobby, they both, it's a hotel. They're hotels, but you pay more for the experience. And some of my clients have been able to increase their pricing because of the level of the experience that they're providing to their customers.
I'm assuming that price increase is not overnight, though. Let's talk about that. Somebody hires you, works with you, and or your peers in the industry. I want to ask, how long does it take? I don't think it's a fair question, but you get what I'm trying to get at, meaning, let's say I'm not sucky. I'm not like spitting at my customers or pushing them down the stairs. Not bad. I'm an okay business, right? Please and thank you. We're okay.
Yeah.
but then I work on the customer experience. Curious about that pricing. How does that integrate? Is that maybe over years? Is that maybe just with new customers? How does that take where you're like, we've earned the right. We're delivering premium service. We can now do premium pricing. Play with me a bit. How might one
I think it's
navigate that?
very different depending upon your industry,
Okay.
if you're product based, if you're service based. It just depends. So you have to look at the demand. Let's say you're just an okay business, and let's say you're a restaurant. You're just an okay business and you have a steady flow of customers, but you're not overwhelmed. But then you up your customer experience game, and the experience is so phenomenal that now all of a sudden you've got a long line of people waiting to come into your restaurant.
There you
You can
go.
increase your prices.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
Or let's just say you're a t-shirt business, you're an e-commerce t-shirt business, same thing. You're doing okay, your customer experience is just okay, but you increase that experience to the point that everybody's telling all their friends and family about it. And now the demand for your t-shirts have increased. You now need to hire more people, which is more expenses for you. You can increase your prices. So, and you have to think about how much you're going to increase it
Sure.
to and all of that. But we see that all the time, especially in today's society. We see increase in prices all the time. The issue is nowadays we see increases in prices, but we don't see an increase in the customer experience. That's the problem.
Yes. Since you, pardon me, since you said this
People will
twice,
pay for a higher level of customer experience.
for sure. And since you said it twice, my guess is one metric right there could be, as you're doing better customer experience, one indicator, it seems a major one, could be an increase in just lines and customers and traffic, people talking about you. That is a sense for you to consider we've earned the right to raise prices more. Is that a fair statement?
That is fair. And I also love testimonials. So as you up your customer experience game and people are saying wonderful things about you, get those testimonials, put it on social media, put it on your website, right? And when you get testimonials, you can increase your prices.
Yes.
Because the demand becomes higher.
I want to ask you a question, Angela, about consistency, and I'll do it through a story. I received this card from United Airlines at 30,000 feet. Not at 30,000 feet, but it was planned at 30,000 feet when I landed, a thank you card for being with United for 30 years. So I say that to preface something that they could probably do better, but I'll get to my point quickly. Thank you, United Airlines. If you're ever hearing this, I love you. You can give me more mileage, free food, free drinks, and all that kind of stuff. Great. So love you, United Airlines. But one thing I think they've started to do, and if you know about this, let me know, but they started, I feel it, to greet customers as they get off the plane. There was a few times when I've heard them say welcome or something. It wasn't always the case X years ago, but I'm getting a feeling they've changed the training. Could be wrong. So one, I'd love your comments on that. But the second question is really how to make it more consistently. Because I noticed that in some airports, hey, welcome, thanks for flying. Or I've noticed it's getting less and less, or somebody's on their phone, and again, great company. They're doing their best, but on their phone and, hey, welcome. So what can they do? And it's $1 billion brand, totally different than small business, but I'm guessing the principles are the same. If they wanted to have everybody, you came off that plane, if there was United Airlines staff member present, welcome. Just curious, how could they do that Chick-fil-A experience? Like, how do you work with it? Does it just take time and training and training and training, or how does that work? How do you?
So yeah, it takes time. It's in a multi-billion-dollar company,
Right.
like United Airlines, and they have all of those airports all over the world, right? Or all over at least over the country. They would literally, I would think, have to send someone to those different locations, train the staff. This is what we're doing. This is the new initiative. I'm sure they probably sent out an email.
Oh, sure.
They may have done a virtual training, maybe. But I think it takes more than that to get people to the point where they're so used to doing things one way. Now they have to completely remember to do something another way. So it would be helpful and beneficial if they sent someone like me.
And I need to drive you there, though. And I need to drive you there.
Right.
I need to drive you there.
You say what now?
I need to drive you there. I need to help you get there. So they're going to hire you, but then I need to get you there. So then you're going to subcontract to me because I need to get you there, because you couldn't get there without me. So I need to get you there.
That's right. We can do this. We can work it out. So, but if they hired someone to go in and especially to the larger airports and say, listen, this is what we're doing. This is what you have to do. But then they have to make sure they're doing it. So then they need someone like me to do secret shopping, which is another service I provide. who would come in, just they would have absolutely no idea who this person was. It would be someone who could report back and say, all right, the airport in Boise, Idaho is not doing it, but the airport in New York is doing it. So the feedback, and then people have to be held accountable if they're not doing it. So the other thing is they could give positive reinforcement. So for people who are doing it consistently, it could be a company-wide recognition of those customers who are doing what it is that they deem to be important. They could get company-wide recognition and maybe some perks, which would encourage other employees to continue to do it because they want those perks. So there's different ways to make sure people do these things. I think Chick-fil-A started out from the beginning. Every time they opened a brand new location, this is what they taught their staff. So it's ingrained in the corporate culture. If your company's been around for a very long time and you've got thousands and thousands of employees and now you're making some changes, you've got to do some things to make sure that you encourage those employees to change their behavior consistently. And it could be positive reinforcement, like I said, or negative reinforcement, meaning you get a ding if you don't do what it is we've asked you to do.
I love that. So at United Airlines, if you're listening, don't forget to, you can engage Angela Black, and she needs an assistant. So I'm available to assist her. I can hold her handbag or do her hair, whatever. So you can hire me to do it. So, but Angela, that's powerful. Let's talk to the smallest of small businesses. I won't use myself as an example. I'm a solo business owner with a virtual team, and we're not really customer facing. We do some other things, but I don't know, play along with me, Angela. Let's say I'm a contracting company. It's got the boss who's hands-on, doing the landscaping, let's say, doing the work also, but the boss has 4 or 5 other guys or gals, going in and out of the house, maybe doing this, that, or the other. I think my wife once caught our landscaper peeing on the rose bushes. That pissed her off. Yeah. So that was a side note, but talk to us about the smaller companies, Angela. Team of 5, team of 3, we're doing upholstery cleaning, limo company. How would that work? And I'm sure there's similarities, but give us another scenario. I got the passion. I love my customers, but I just hired Megan. She's brand new. I do not have millions of dollars, Angela. Nope. I'm not going to send her off to Harvard for 5 years of training. I'm paying her $30 an hour. Angela, Can you help me? What do I do?
Yeah. So for small businesses like that, one of the things I was trying to think of is how can I work smarter and not harder, right? Because I've been doing a lot of work developing SOPs for individual clients of mine who are business owners. And then I thought, okay, how can I do this for the masses and for those people who don't have a lot of money and may not be able to afford some of the prices I may charge for one-on-one work. So I developed a membership where it's a 12-month membership where employees, like this landscaping company, he could send his employee to this membership. And every month I teach something new about customer service. I teach a new concept. So for 12 months, you're going to get something brand new about customer service. You'll also get 12 SOPs around those different topics for your employees and for your business, SOP templates that you then customize yourself. It's things like that I think will help the masses of small businesses, where they will then be able to learn, what am I missing out on? What is churn? How do I follow up with churn? How do I make sure I reduce churn? What do I do when I have angry customers? How do I handle those very difficult customers? And how do I recover customers who say they absolutely want to have nothing else to do with me, which is a skill. It's a skill. And that's something that I teach. So for smaller businesses who have maybe 5 employees, like I said, my demographic are those businesses that are in the mid to high 6 figures. Because those are the ones that tend to really see the problems with customers, and they're
out of survival mode, probably, also, in fairness, meaning the first one's figuring out, just let me get a buck, which is fair. You can start customer service from 1, making 50,000 a year, but I get it. Continue, please.
Right, because it's that hustle mentality when you're trying to get your business on steady ground. But once it reaches steady ground and now you want to scale, those are the ones that typically will hire me one-on-one. But for the smaller businesses that really don't need me to work with them one-on-one, it's programs like that I think are going to be helpful for their employees. Yeah.
No, I love that. That is powerful. And how do we find, I mean, you are the best, but those who are looking for help with customer experience, what do they do, Angela? How do they, I guess it just, but you're there as well, but when they're looking for great people like you,
Mhm.
is it just kind of referrals, references? What have they done? Like any other service you're looking for? Is that pretty much it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure where to find people like me. Um, I've
Just call
only
Angela. Let's make it easy. Just call Angela. It'd be
yeah, just
simple.
call me. I've only met one other person who does what I do,
Sure.
and she travels all over the world. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to her level. I'm
Yeah.
traveling around the country, but I'm trying to get to her level. She travels all over the world consulting on the corporate end.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if she works with small business.
For
I don't
sure.
know how do you find people like me.
Yeah.
Just call me and see if I can help you. And if I can't, I might have some resources that you can use.
I love it. We got a few minutes to go, Angela, and I'll thank you for your time being here again. Angela, one more time, give us your website, who you serve, how to reach you. Then I want to ask how you got to where you are today. But one more
Oh,
time, please tell the Rundown with the Remote audience who you are, your website, whatever you want, so they remember who you are and why they should reach you, please.
okay, awesome. So I'm Angela Black. I'm the customer experience queen. I help companies organize and systemize their policies around customer service so they increase client retention and loyalty and referrals, which increases their revenue. So my tagline, I like to say that I actually have a webinar that I'm going to be doing soon, and it's you can crush your 2024 revenue without working harder. And the reason I say that is because I specialize in client retention and loyalty and referrals. And you can make a lot of money from that without working harder. My website address is www.angelablackcrc.com. And my email is info@angelablackcrc.com.
Love it. Powerful. So,
Yeah.
Angela, how did you get here today? Were you like in your home with your mama, like you had to wear white gloves? I don't know. Did you like, were you like
No,
a assistant to the Queen of England or something? I mean, I don't know.
no. So
Tell us how you got here today. What's the
the,
story?
the story is kind of interesting. So, like you said you've been a 5-time
Yes.
entrepreneur. I've been a business owner of some sort since I was like 14. I
I love it.
started my first little business when I was 14, and always doing something. If I wasn't in multi-level marketing, I was inventing my own business, right? So, over the years, my corporate career was pharmaceutical sales. I did a lot of healthcare sales, B2B sales. I worked for University of Phoenix and sold education. So I was in sales and I did very well, but I don't think that the awards I won in sales had anything to do necessarily with me being such a great salesperson. It was more about how I treated my clients and my customers. I think they would have bought anything from me because of the relationship I created with them and the experience they got with me. And then I noticed people would ask me, Angela, what are you doing? Tell me, how did you win this award? And I'd say, I'm just doing my job. But what I realized is that not everybody was doing what I was doing. Meaning, if I told a client I was going to be somewhere at a certain time, I was there early and I stayed later. If, things that I would listen, if they said their child had a soccer game, the next time I saw them, I might have a soccer ball and say, hey, give this to your kid. They might want to practice at home. Little things that other people weren't doing, I was doing. And unfortunately, being in pharmaceutical sales is very volatile. I've been laid off 4 times in my career. And the last time I got laid off, I just thought, I can't do corporate anymore. I don't want to do corporate America anymore. I have not enough knowledge and experience. I've trained sales reps. I've managed sales reps that I can take that knowledge that I have and help small businesses specifically and Black-owned businesses, which is my passion, because we get a bad rap for customer service. And I really want to help Black-owned businesses. But businesses in general make this world a happier place, one customer at a time. And that means developing systems and policies that make a customer experience so good that these customers want to keep coming back to you. So that's where I started my business. I just decided to take all that knowledge I had and that experience and turn it into a consulting business. And here I am.
I love it. I love it. And you mentioned about helping Black-owned businesses because we get a bad rap. Why do we get a bad rap? What does that mean to you? I know what it means to me, but what does it mean to you?
Oh, that's a loaded question. There's a couple reasons, I think. One, we get a bad rap across the board, not
Sure,
just
right?
in business, but
Racially, yeah.
yeah, we are, our feet are held to the fire, and we have to work harder. That black tax, they call it, we have to work 10 times harder to be seen on the same level, whether
Sure.
it's in corporate America with our own business or whatever. But I also think a lot of Black owned businesses are solopreneurs, and they're trying to handle everything by themselves because they're using their own money. You know, they really don't think they have the money to hire staff, or they hire family and they don't really know how to train the family to, or their employees, how to handle customer situations. And then in today's society of the internet, where people are going viral, what I see happening is somebody will go viral and their business will get all of these orders and they're overwhelmed. And instead of being honest and upfront with customers and saying, oh my gosh, we have been overwhelmed. Thank you so much for all of your support. But unfortunately, because of so many orders, it's going to take us a little bit longer than the regular week that we said that you would get this product. Instead of being open and honest, they try their best to get the orders out and they don't do well. And then people start complaining and then they get upset and they kind of put their head in the sand instead of dealing with it. And it's hard as a small business owner, whether you're Black or not. When someone is mad at you because of something with your business is your baby. And if somebody calls your baby ugly, it hurts.
Yes.
And we get defensive. And unfortunately, that defensiveness comes out a lot of times into some negative customer service experiences. And I think that's why I said it's a loaded question. I think it's a combination of all of that. We give, and this, Ramon, this drives me crazy. We give Walmart chance after chance after chance to consistently show us bad customer service, bad customer experiences, horrible shopping experience. But people will go in there all the time and shop. And if a Black-owned business makes one mistake, they will tell their friends and family and get on the internet and tell people not to go to that business. And it's because we, for whatever reason, are just held to a higher standard. It's unfair, it's unfortunate, but because of that, I think we as Black-owned businesses need to really pay attention to crossing our T's and dotting our I's and making sure that we do go above and beyond to provide a better experience to our clients. So yeah.
I think that is powerful.
A loaded question.
No, you're exactly right. I have a lot more questions I can ask you on that, but I'll save that for the second edition of the Angela Black and Ramon Ray show about customer experience. Angela, this has been an amazing discussion. I cannot wait to continue to work with you, and I hope United Airlines calls you so that you can call me so I can drive you around where you're going. And but thank you, Angela. One more time. Give us your website, AngelaBlackCRC.
Yeah. AngelaBlackCRC.com.
Great. And this is Angela Black, the Customer Experience Queen. My name is Ramon Ray, and this is the Rundown with Ramon. To be on the Rundown with Ramon, just email me at Ramon@RamonRay.com. You can get to know me better at RamonRay.com. And this is the Rundown with Ramon. Angela, thanks so much for being here today, and have a beautiful, blessed day.